Hello everybody, this video is designed to show you how you can take an existing survey of an existing road and create a junction to a new road. So what I've received from the surveyor is a surface, which is here, and 3D polylines, which describe the existing road. So we've got the centre line and the channel lines of the existing road. And what we're going to do is I have an alignment here for a new road, and I want to attach that new road to the existing, straightforward stuff. So all that's in this drawing so far is one alignment, which you've seen there, there's nothing on it. And then we have our assemblies, which I've already put on. There's one here which is our existing road, and there's one here for the existing road where the junction will appear, so that you can see there's no curb and footpath on the right hand side. I then have my new road, a new road half section, which if you're not sure why that's in there, that will become clear, and a curb return as well, which again will become clear if you're unsure. So the first thing to do is to create your new road, because we need to tie our existing road into something. So we're going to create a new road as a corridor. Now before I do that, we can create a corridor from a feature line, not a 3D polyline. So this needs to be a feature line, so let's make it a feature line, create from objects. It doesn't need to be on the site. When you've got a lot of these, it's useful naming things so that you can find things easy. So I'll just call it existing center line. There is a style for crown lines, which I'll use. We can erase existing, but we don't need to assign levels because they're already on there. It's a 3D line. So we now have a feature line. So we can go straight and create a corridor on that feature line. We don't have to create alignments and profiles anymore. So I'll call this one existing road. We'll use the feature line. There it is, existing centre line, and we'll use the assembly existing road. We can do the target surfaces at the end. We don't need to do them now. Hit OK. So I'll just do it from start to finish. We're going to have to break it up later on, but that's fine. Frequency I'm not worried about. It's going to put an assembly at each of the vertices, so I'm okay with that. But we do need to set the targets because the existing channel lines won't necessarily be exactly 7.3 meters apart. So our width target for the carriageway on the right, we need to go and pick that feature line. Now I know that this polyline was drawn from left to right, so that is the right channel. We need to do the left channel as well, so again select from drawing, pick the left channel, there we go. And we also need to do elevation because there won't necessarily be a nice easy crossfall. So again on the right, pick feature line from drawing, and just pick the same line again. It's got elevations on it, and vertical target for the carriageway on the left, pick from drawing, that's the one on the left, and hit OK. Hit OK, hit OK, and build the corridor. So we now have a corridor in here which looks rather nice, of our existing road. Okay, you can see there's a bit of a vertical on there, it's a bit of a slope. I'm going to change the code set style so you can see how it's applied the assemblies, and it's basically just applied it on each of them vertices, so I'm okay with that. So the next thing to do is we need something to tie into, so if we just put a surface on there, so we'll do a corridor surface. We'll add the surface. Don't actually need to see it. It's not important that I see the surface, but we will add in the top links. If you want to add additional detail, so you're getting a more accurate representation, you can add the feature lines in. So just think about where the break lines are on the surface if you're doing this manually. There'll be one on the crown, there'll be one on the lane, which is the channel line, and there'll be one on the top of the curve, and that'll give me a nice crisp angle to tie into. I'm going to add the boundary in as well. Hit OK, rebuild the corridor. So we now should have elevations. If I just hover my mouse in there, we should see our existing road surface, there we are, and our survey. So we've got elevation information. So if I profile this with both surfaces, the existing ground and the existing road surface, we should have something to tie into nicely. So we'll do profile, create a surface profile, Beecham Court, existing road surface, add in, and LiDAR add in. Doesn't matter which order you do them in, but change the style of one of them. So that will be a magenta line. And we'll go drawing profile view and create profile view. We'll place that there. So there's our tie-in, that's our existing road, so let's tie into it. Profile creation tools, and we'll just draw. We can accept these defaults and start off by just drawing the straights. We don't need anything fancy at this stage, so we'll just tie into that point there, and then we need to somehow get back up to the road here. So I'll go up to here and then to the end. Okay, so what we'll do now is we will, obviously if I was to put a vertical curve in there, that's going to interfere with the existing road, so we need to bring that out maybe about 10 meters or so, and then we can add our vertical curves in. I'm just going to sketch in roughly what I want. Don't have to be accurate at this stage. And now we can go and have a look at the data. So there we are. So I ideally want a 25 meter curve in there. So let's see if I can fit one in without interfering with the existing road, and that's fine. And this one here, I'm going to go 20 meters, see how we land, and I'm okay with that. Obviously the design element here, you would spend longer on that, making sure that that's correct. Okay, so we've tied in nicely our centre line. What we need to then do is tie in our curb line. So our channel line that runs down both sides here, we need to tie into the channel line here. Well, the easiest way to achieve that is to extract the level information of the existing channel line. So I'm just going to select my corridor, and if you pull out of the corridor an alignment and go and pick that channel line, it's going to do alignment from feature line, and I'm going to call this one existing lane. I'm calling it lane because the code set in the UK country kit is called lane. It could be offset style, that's fine. Offsets, geometry point symbols only, but here we are, it's going to create a profile of them as well, so we're going to get the elevations. So we'll hit OK. There's the profile, and we'll do it as design style, that's fine. Basic label set, that's fine. I'm okay with that. Okay, so what we have now, if we have a look at our alignments, if we go to just finish that command. There we are. If we go to our offset alignments, we have an existing lane alignment and it has a profile on it, which is here. And if you want to know what that looks like, you could just go to your home tab, profile view, create a profile view of the existing lane. That's what it looks like now. Okay, so nice and neat to match whatever the existing 3D polyline the surveyor gave you. Okay, so we've got that level there. We now need the level on the new road. So if we do offset alignments of our new one, so Beecham Court, and we'll just set them at 2.75, 2.75, symbols only, and it will create a profile based on the existing centerline profile with that crossfall there. So we'll hit OK. There's our offsets. Now if you want to see what that looks like, again you don't need to do this part of it. This is purely if you just want to see what it looks like. So we'll do a profile view, create a profile view, and we'll pick our offset. We'll do the left one, it doesn't really matter which one, and we'll create that, and we'll place it above it so you can see it matches, and there it is, it matches. Okay, now the beauty here is if I have any change in my vertical here, you can see in the, if I change the vertical on the center line, that the channel lines also adjust. So we're creating a junction with dynamic aspects to it, which is rather nice. Okay, so next thing is we need to put our curb returns in. So we need them horizontally but also vertically. We need the levels of this channel line to match the levels on this channel line. So we can use connected alignments. Okay, so if I go and select my alignment and do a connected alignment, pick my existing one, so alignment there, pick a location, which is here, and hit enter. Okay, now I know this starts at 0, so that is actually the right hand curb return. So I'm going to call this one right KR, curb return. We'll put a radius on it of 10 meters, and we'll put an overlap on here, and this is optional, you don't need to put the overlap on. Where it is useful to put the overlap on is if there's going to be a change later on, you'll have a, in this case, 5 meter straight so that you can maintain tangency. It just makes life a bit easier. Again, we'll set that as offset. We don't want any labels on there, but also it will automatically join up our profile 1 to profile 2, so my existing channel line level to my proposed channel line level of my new road. I'll just put it on a plotting style, and it will straight line if it can't fit a curve in, but if you can get a curve in there, you know, just put something small in, it will put a vertical curve in there as well. Hit OK. Let's do the other one. Now if we do the other one the other way around, I don't know if you noticed, I picked that one first and then I picked this one second. If I use the curb return on the left, you can see it's going to go in this direction, so it's heading in a northerly direction based on the first alignment that I picked will be 0, and the second alignment I picked will be the end chainage. So if I pick it the other way around on this one, I can use the same assembly because it'll just go from north to south. So I'll pick this one first this time. So we'll pick my alignment. So we'll do alignment, connected alignment, select this one, pick the location, left curb return. That must have been what I changed. I didn't change, did I? So that should be 10. That should be 5. Offset, major, minor, geometry, symbols only, and again it'll do this connected profile, and I'll put a 10 meter parabola in there if it'll fit it in. That's better. Right, okay. So now we have our geometry all matching, we just need to model the corridor. You could do it as a separate corridor, or you could put it in the same one. I'm going to put it in the same one. There's no right or wrong there. The first thing I want to do though is this corridor here obviously starts at 0 and finishes at the end. And what I need to do is I need to put a break in here where there's no footpath where the junction is. The easiest way to do that is to split the region. So we'll just pick the region, and I want to split it at that dumbbell there. Pick this region and split it at that dumbbell there. Okay, so all I need to do now is change that assembly. So in the corridor properties, for this region here, we'll put it to the assembly that has no footpath, so existing road junction on the right. Just show you what I've done. So that's all ready to fit my new road in. So we'll go back in. You could rename them, you know, before junction, after junction, stuff like that. Add a baseline, and we're going to add in Beecham Court. Make sure you pick your vertical profile in there, and we'll add a region, and we'll do our new road. Now remember, 0's at the actual junction point, so we don't want to start at 0. We would like to start at this dumbbell here, which is the furthest back curb return tangency point. Okay, so we'll start there and we'll finish at the end. We'll set the frequency to some sensible values, 10 and 5. It's all straight lined horizontally, and we don't need to set the target, so we'll just hit OK so you can see what's going on. So there is my new road ready to come in and join my existing road. Okay, so the next section would be this area here. Okay, we need this half section in here. Now I know it looks backwards, that the lane is currently on the right, but remember 0 is up here at the top. So you need that this on the right hand side. Okay, so we'll go into the corridor properties. We'll insert a region, but we want to insert the region before this time, and it'll be my half section. And we don't want it to start at 0. We want our half section to start at this dumbbell, and we want it to finish at the beginning of the next one. We'll drop that to maybe every 1 metre, and we'll hit apply and rebuild. Just move out of the way so you can see what we've done. We've just added this section in here, so now we can do our curb returns. Okay, remember this is the right hand curb return, so let's do that one first. So we'll add in a baseline, and we'll pick KR right. There's that profile. There's only one in there. It did it for us. Insert a region, which will be my curb return. We don't want to do it from start to finish, because remember we put that 5 metre overlap on, and we don't need that 5 metre overlap. Frequency, we'll do it every 1 metre. Oh, it's only on curves, isn't it? That's fine, 1 metre. And we'll set the targets. So what you want is the carriageway to target the alignment Beecham Court. Add. You also want it to target the existing lane, so the channel line of the existing. And you need it to do that horizontally and vertically. So we'll go in and we'll do Profiles Beecham Court VP24, and also my existing lane, add. Hit OK, hit OK. Now you could add an additional frequency, but I'm going to explain that at the end. The additional frequency is, I'll show you what I mean by that if I rebuild this. That 1 metre frequency will go, but it won't necessarily hit that point there. So we'll fill that in at the end. We don't need to do that now. So let's do the other side. So we'll add a baseline, which is my curb return left. Make sure I pick that level, and we'll add a region in. And again, we'll use that same, because we're going the other direction, we can use that same curb return. I will set it to 5 metres and 21. Just knocking 5 metres off that, and again we'll set that to 1 metre, and then the target's exactly the same target. So this is going to target the centre line and then the existing. So Beecham Court, existing lane, Beecham Court vertical, and existing lane vertical. Hit OK, hit OK, hit OK, and rebuild. There we go, and that of course doesn't hit that centre point as well, so bear that in mind. So what we need to do now is we can just add a section, and as I say, you can do this when you're doing your frequencies, but I find it easier just go add a section, pick a baseline, select where you would like it to go to, hit baseline, pick the next baseline, and do the same thing. So I want this one to go to the same point. As soon as you hit enter, that has solved that, and there we are, tying into existing roads made easy.